And we are live. What's up, everybody, on a dark Wednesday afternoon? In case you don't know who I am, my name is Barry Cunningham. I'm a real estate investor and burgeoning developer here in South Florida. Been involved in 1,000+ transactions over the last 20 years and getting real excited about real estate. So it's the type of real estate that some of you guys might not be accustomed to. I deal a lot with distressed properties, non-performing assets from banks, things with, when people get in trouble. I'm the guy they call when people get in trouble and they need to sell a property. And we're getting to the point now where a lot of the forecasts and things I'd looked at are starting to become true. It's no longer a forecast. I told you guys for months now that the iceberg was in the water, dead ahead. People said, hey, listen, it doesn't seem that way. I don't see what you're looking at. Even my own attorney at one point said, Barry, I just don't see it happening the same way as you do. But slowly by slowly, people are seeing the light. People who understand what to look for. So I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to talk about something that's been happening and the different things that go into building the building blocks per se of distressed properties. But before I go there, I don't care who you voted for, but if you voted for Joe Biden, you're about to get your just desserts. You're about to get what you voted for. You're about to get everything you wanted, and it may be to your detriment. Mortgage applications have fallen, foreclosure filings are rising, and now, today, a little over 45 minutes ago, this hit the wires at CNBC and News Everywhere. And what it says is, Joe Biden is putting together his faux cabinet, per se, of people who he wants to work with in the first, year of his, I don't even know what word, intended presidency. He hasn't been elected or anything yet, but he's getting ready. And what are they one of the first things they have announced? One of the first things out the gate, Biden COVID advisor says U.S. lockdown of 4 to 6 weeks could control the pandemic and revive the economy. Who are these people? What in the hell is he talking about? Revive the economy. Revive? You're basically putting the knife in and twisting it. This is insane. Let's say he does get inaugurated and he's installed on January 20th. And, they have a big party and they're not able to really do much until January 21st. And so 6 weeks from there, so you're talking 4 weeks would be February 21st. Then you're talking March 15th or so would be the period of the lockdown. So let me ask you a question. How many of you watching, how many of your friends, and how many of your family members, people you know, are going to be able to survive 4 to 6 weeks of complete lockdown? You're going to be able to pay your bills? You're going to be able to pay your mortgage? You're going to be able to pay your rent? You're going to be able to eat? You're going to be able to keep the lights on? Going to be able to pay the water bill? This is insanity. 4 to 6 weeks of locking down the economy, just as the economy has already been revived. You want to destroy it and just push everything back into a hole? I don't know how anybody on either side of the aisle, Republican or Democrat, would stand for this. Look at what's coming. The potential for 4 to 6 weeks or more or more, 4 to 6 weeks or more of lockdowns, with people not being able to do anything, business owners not being able to generate revenue. It's mind-blowing. But as we all have to understand, we're in the real estate business. And being in the real estate business, we have to be able to adapt and move and take advantage of any economy. You know, as I have this thing here about Warren that I've talked about quite a bit, and it says, be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Understand that. The other big saying by one of the Rothschilds is, the time to buy is when blood is running through the streets. I can guarantee you, if we shut down this economy for another 4 to 6 weeks right after New Year's, there's going to be blood running in the streets. No doubt about it. Maybe not literal blood, but the economy will be a blood red mess. Just think back to February and March of this past year. How'd it go for you? How'd it go for people you know? I know I've got pictures where we actually did food drives, and we helped people, eat. We collected food at church, and we're giving out bags. The line was like 3 miles long for people who needed food. We're about to get back into bread lines, people. 4 to 6 weeks of lockdown after having already been in lockdown, and then some states already in lockdown, going to go further. This is insane. Absolutely insane. But this is the business we've chosen. As Hiram Roth in The Godfather said, this is the business we've chosen. Which means we need to be ready. Now, a lot of the indicators I've been talking about for months are now lining up. And I can tell you, without any equivocation, that right after the first of the year, we're going to begin seeing a serious time for real estate investment in distressed properties. It's not the appetite that everybody has. People want to buy a house, move in. It's going to be great. They're watching these flipping shows on TV, which, oh my God, don't watch those shows. But if you are ready to take that step, if you are ready to get involved in real estate, get your ducks in a row. Get your team together if you're going to be doing rehabs. Get your money together so you can buy and turn these properties and sustain yourself. It's going to be a cornucopia. And what I'm going to do when we get back from this quick break, I'm going to tell you why.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.
So if things go the way they're seemingly going to be going, one of the things I need to make sure is that I am positioned so that I can take advantage of the incredible amount of non-performing assets and distressed properties that are going to be hitting the market here in South Florida. And if you're looking to get involved in a business and you're looking to do some investing, go ahead and give me a call. I'd love to work with you. So we know from past shows and past information that there's a moratorium going on right now in South Florida where the foreclosure finality, judgments, the executions, the writs can't take place. So there's a backlog of foreclosures already. And those backlogs are growing. And people aren't taking the time to look at the data to understand that that is becoming a large number. In addition to that, with 33,000 FHA mortgages, at least 120 days delinquent, with anywhere between 3 and 5% of all mortgages being at least 120 days delinquent, Then on top of that, you want to go ahead and add 4 to 6 more weeks of lockdown. It's a recipe for success. And I mean that, and I'm sorry for people who are about to go through a bad situation. But in real estate investing, this is a recipe for success. So let me show you something. So I was on CNBC doing some work on here again. And I saw this from Diana Olick this morning. Home purchase applications, she means mortgages. Home purchase applications dropped to its lowest in 6 months. Party's over. I mean, I'll post this link, but the party's over. And what we're seeing right now is this. So as we go in here, mortgage demand from home buyers, whether it be refi or new, drops to its lowest level in 6 months. Now, even with rates so low, we're talking about things dropping precipitously. As it says here, mortgage applications to purchase a home fell 3% for the week and were 16% higher than a year ago. The annual comparison is now shrinking steadily. What does that tell you? Supply and demand. And so right now there's so much supply because everybody wants to sell. I mean, I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. There's so much demand right now because mortgage interest rates are so low. It's a complete seller's market. They're getting top dollar. You never buy at the apex of a market, never. And right now people are doing that. They're doing bidding wars, just emotional buying. And as an investor, you have to be very careful not to get involved in that. But what's about to happen is people are beginning to pull back. People are starting to say, okay, I left New York, I left California, I left one of the crazy areas, and now I've gone through the election and things are going to get better. And then this hits. And then this hits and says, hey guys, we're going to go ahead and lock things down for another 4 to 6 weeks. I can't tell you if you don't want to accept the reality of this situation. If we're already seeing, and we're talking, 6 weeks before a potential new president would go into the White House, if we're already seeing mortgage applications drop as much as its 6-month low, and the curve's dropping this way, then what's going to happen is going to turn into a buyer's market, because soon sellers are not going to be able to sell their houses. They're not going to be able to get the top dollar they want. And you're going to see realtors, what I call, or a lot of people call, chasing the market down. You're going to have a house that was listed at $450. 2 weeks later, it's going to be at $425. And 2 weeks later, $400. 2 weeks later, $375. And you can just watch that happen. And when that happens, it brings down the value of all the other properties in the area, subdivisions, the market. And people at that point start getting fearful. They start getting fearful. And as Warren said, be fearful when others are greedy, which is what they've been doing right now, but be greedy when others are fearful. I'm going to let that stay on the screen for a second and let you read it. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. All right, so imagine yourself, you're seeing, hey, I'm not getting as many people to the open houses. We're not getting sight unseen offers. Your realtor comes to you and says, wow, we need to drop the price. Oh, wait a minute, let's do a CMA. Oh, what do you mean my property value is already dropping? What about all these foreclosures that end on December 31st? We don't know what's going to happen with them. They're still accumulating. We see from here that they want to lock things down for 4 to 6 weeks. You don't think that's going to drive some fear? You don't think people are already seeing this article and seeing a possible lockdown and already getting fearful? Let me show you. Okay, he said, well, Barry, show me if that's happening. So another article came out. This one says, and this is the real deal, and I got it on the South Florida area. The home buying slump worsens as applications for mortgage loans drop. And as you can see, that was today, November 11th, this morning. Home buying slump worsens as applications for mortgage loans drop. So, what they're saying here, and again, if you're reading the tea leaves here, and you're understanding what's happening, is the market is beginning to shift. And normally there'd be indicators again that you could see in the future and say, oh, this might be short-lived. This might get better. It might just be a blip. No, this isn't going to be a blip, because we're still going to see this kind of crap happening. 4 to 6 weeks potentially, and they're teasing it right now. Wait till it gets in. You think they're going to stop in 4 to 6 weeks? No. So if the market is already beginning to dip, buy the dip, always buy the dip. I think Seth Godin said that. If we're already seeing this happen, if we're already seeing that people are starting to ring the bell, which we've seen, if you've been following the show, I've been telling you, it's coming. It's not an if, it's not a when, it is a when. It's not an if, it's coming. The market is going to crash hard, especially if they start instituting lockdowns. That's just like throwing fire on this whole thing. It's just going to exasperate it and amplify it and speed it up. You getting ready? Getting excited? Are you getting excited? I'm sorry. Yes, a lot of people are going to get hurt. A ton of people are going to be hurt. It's going to be incredibly bad. But Barry, why are you smiling? Because Warren already told me. Warren has told you. When these people start going nuts, they're going to need people like us. We are the firemen. We are the firemen for the homeowner. We are the firemen for the bank. Bank doesn't want to be sitting on these loans that nobody's paying. Hey man, what can you do? Well, I can take it off your hands, but you're going to have to give me a discount. This is 2008. This is when we're going to be sitting on the top of the market, being able to pick and choose what properties we want to buy. You doubt me? Here, let's look at this one. Let me see if I can find another one that came out just today. Where is it? There was one today that said foreclosures are jumping back up. Now, if you're not understanding that, I know where it is. It's on this browser. I got to pull it over. Where is it? Okay, here it is. Okay, so let's look at this article. You ready? You ready for this one? Foreclosure filings picked up in October despite the moratoriums. Now understand, why does it say that? Barry said there's a moratorium. That sentence doesn't make any sense. No. What I said was, and what the court said is, we can't go through final judgment, we can't execute the writ, we can't toss the people out, we can't do any of that right now because there's a moratorium. But people can file. And so this, again, came out tonight at 6:15 p.m. 6:15 p.m. this came out. You can see the time right here. Foreclosure filings picked up in October despite moratoriums. They can't stop what's coming. You can't stop it. You can't even hope to contain it. It's obviously biggest increases are in New York City, but here in South Florida, Dade was a huge county that got hit with the coronavirus stuff. So if you know people at the top of the market, the people who can afford properties, who can get nice mortgages and 2-3% rate, if they're pulling back, which means less houses are going to be selling. The housing slump is beginning to worsen. So you've got the housing slump worsening, and you have foreclosure filings picking up, And then on top of all that, you have the government, or the presumed government, talking about locking down the economy for 4 to 6 weeks. Are you seeing this? Are you seeing this perfect storm beginning to come together? You understand what kind of opportunities are going to be out there available to you. Right now, are you putting together all the list pendances in your area so you can begin contacting these people? You are going to be their firemen. Right now, their house is starting to simmer. They're wondering, hey, listen, what are these flames that are coming up? What do we do? Put the house on the market, honey. People aren't coming anymore. We're not getting the sight unseen offers. We're not getting the bidding wars. What do we do? Well, the realtor's going to say, well, then you need to lower your price. But we've been out of work, and that equity that we have, if I have any equity, is going to have to sustain us. What do we do? We're going to have to keep lowering. There's only one way a house sells. Only one way. If the price is right for the buyer. Once this market turns, the only way a house will sell is if the price is right for the buyer. Otherwise, it sits there. And now people are going to run out of time. Now, the only fly in the ointment here from investors is, on the other side, what does a presumed Biden administration do for people in foreclosure? Are they going to help and step in and tell the banks not to foreclose on people? That's possible. That's really possible. But are they going to give people money when they can't they can't sustain themselves? Probably not. What'd you get? A $1,200 check? One $1,200 check? How long did that last you? So let's say you're sitting on a house in Boca, and the house is worth $450,000 today, and next week, 2 weeks from now, it's worth $420 because the comps in the market are coming down. And so now you put it at the market for $420, and you don't get any offers, and the realtor says, let's lower it to $390, and you only owe $280 on it, but you're not working anymore. So you've got $120,000, $130,000 in equity. That may be a cushion that you and the honey could sit on for a little while. But every successive month, that equity is going to drop. It's going to mean less and less, because what happens is the realtor's going to come in and say, let's drop it to $375. Still nobody's buying. Let's drop it to $350. And now you're seeing a $20,000 increments just coming off the top of your money. And I'm watching this, and I say, listen, here's my offer for $305. Oh my God, you're lowballing me. You don't have to accept it. Give me a call when you're ready to take a look and be serious about it. I'm not going anywhere. Take this $305,000 offer. And I know it may sound insulting, it may sound like a low ball, but that's what I'm willing to pay you. With everything that's going on, with the lockdowns coming and looming in the distance, I'm willing to pay you $305. So before you get upset and tell me go stick it, put it in a folder and give me a call. You will not believe how many people call back in a week or two. They sit on it, and the realtor comes, and because I tell them, hey, here's what's going to happen. You're at $370 right now. In 2 weeks, your realtor is going to say drop it to $350, and you're going to drop to $350, and you're going to get some tire kickers, but nobody's willing to bite. And eventually, she's going to say drop to $320. I'm at $305 now. You don't have to wait. We can cash out. You won't lose any more money. Your equity is going to be secure. Yeah, it's swimming with the sharks. It really is. But people who understand like that lifeline. They like to know that if they get stuck, if they get caught without a net, music stops, they don't have a chair, call me. That means a lot. That's why I do these videos. That's why I put my name out there so people can call me when they want to do a deal. And that's what I'm also looking for, partners that may want to do some things. Give me a call. I'm going to have so much opportunity available, I'm not going to be able to take advantage of it all without partners. I run my little commercial thing here at the end, and it tells you what kind of returns you can generate. Anywhere between 8 and 15 if it's just a mortgage, and as high as 35% return annualized if you're part of the deal. Let's do some business. Let's get ready to do some business. Let's get ready to make some money. It's unfortunate for some people, but the smile I have right now is not what I'm going to look like when I'm in someone's home doing a deal. I'm going to be, a little bit quieter. But right now, I'm telling you guys, start salivating. It's time to make some money. It's time to get ready. I hold on to this quote because, believe it or not, this quote and the blood running in the streets quote are things I've held very close to me. People say, what's a game plan? And I say the game plan is that. Be greedy when others are fearful, and don't be apologetic about it. That's when you make your money. Does that sound rough? Maybe this business isn't for you. Maybe you need to go watch one of the television shows and figure out how to, make $100,000 without really doing anything. Maybe you need to buy a course. That's not what we're doing here. What we're doing here is getting prepared to make some serious money in light of what's going to be happening with the economy. Not going to be happening, what is happening with the economy. So when I see things like this and it says the housing slump worsens, that makes me happy. That makes me just perk up and smile. That tells me it's dinner time. It's time to strap on the bib and cut out there and start dining. That's the kind of thing I love. When I see things like this, mortgage demand from homebuyers drops to the lowest level in 6 months. That's the iceberg stuff I was telling you guys about. So what do we know? Let me close here with what we know for sure. We know that there are 35,000 plus FHA mortgages that are at least 120 days delinquent. We know that. Put that in your notes and understand it. We know that foreclosure filings are up and people are basically having a serious problem. Here we go. We know that foreclosure filings are up. We know that for sure. We know that the moratorium's been in place for months and months and months, and foreclosures have been building up, and nobody is seeing all this shadow inventory on the market. And now we find out, on top of all that goodness, on top of all that funny, just delicious stuff that's happening to the market, now we find out that they want to shut down the economy again. That, my friends, is a home run. If you're strong enough to understand that we are looking at real estate as a commodity, I'm not attached to it. I'm not live there. It's not my home. It's a commodity. It's gold. It's silver. It's stock, but it's real estate. Terra firma. It's not going anywhere. I've bought the same house 2 or 3 times because people have gotten into a deal and then they couldn't afford it and then they called me back. This is how you build a sustaining business in real estate, is to be there when people need you. And to be there, answer the phone, get ready to do a deal, be ready to do a deal. Get your ducks in a row, and I'm smiling. Don't take offense to that, because I'm excited. And if you're not excited about doing business in real estate and over the next couple months, then you shouldn't be in this business. It's not an easy business. It's not something that, that it's fairies and unicorns. It's dirty. You're going to deal with people's emotions. They're losing their homes. They're losing their lives. They may be losing, family members, marriages, all because of the financial stress that they're going through. And being solemn and coming in and understanding that you are helping them. It's the only way you can look at it to make money in this business. Now, on the other hand, when you're talking to a bank that's got a non-performing asset, you can be as ruthless as you want to be. They understand it too. Simply a commodity. love negotiating with banks. Banks don't care. They just need to know how much of a spread they need to take. Once we get into this deeper, I'll tell you how much a bank is allowed to take based upon their reserves. There's all kinds of technical stuff that you need to know as we get ready to go into this distressed market. So the only question I have for you right now is, are you ready? Are you ready for what's coming? I hope so. And if you are and you're looking to do some investing, by all means, give me a call. Talk to you guys tomorrow.
Your source for profit. Hear what you need to know to succeed in today's real estate market.